Good morning, everyone. Is it working? Yeah, it's working. Very happy to be with you today. I was just listening to the previous speakers, and I realized that indeed this conference was also my first one when I started working in XR 6 years ago. Time flies. And I remember it was a real discovery to see all these fantastic applications, to see all these people deeply involved in research and innovation, in real-world applications products. And I'm very, very happy to see how much it has evolved and grew over the years. So thank you very much for inviting me again to this event. And thank you, Alexandra, and thank you, Michael, for your continuous support to all the work that we have been doing on this topic at the Commission. I'm going to lead you very quickly through a few things that we have done before introducing what Michael has just introduced himself already. This is the partnership, this new tool that we are going to use in the future. And I would like first to start with what we have in mind at the Commission. What is the vision that we want Europe to follow? And basically, by now, I hope all of you, at least most of you, have heard about the communication of 23 that we came with about Virtual Worlds and Web 4.0. And when we came with it 2 years ago, it was not that obvious because quite a lot of people were using the term metaverse. And we did not want to have this term. We really wanted to go further than that. And that's why we introduced this concept of virtual worlds and Web 4.0, knowing that this is not existing yet. But basically, this is coming. And we really want to be Europe, to be completely ready by the time we will move to this ideal place, or at least, future technological transition where there will be no differences anymore between the digital and the real world. So basically, we came with a communication organized around 4 pillars with a few very clear goals. We want Web 4.0 and virtual worlds to reflect EU values, principles, and fundamental rights. This is something very easy to say, and we repeat it a lot at the Commission, but this is extremely important. And I think the geopolitics of today show every day that it is even more important maybe today than 1 week ago and so on. So that's really at the center of everything. We want them to be a place where people can be safe, confident, empowered, where their rights as users, consumers, workers, and creators are fully respected. We want them to be a place where European businesses can develop world-leading applications, scale up and grow. We want them to be open and interoperable, giving full freedom of choice for users so that you are not attached to any platform, to any device, to any system. And of course, sustainability should be at the heart of the development, like for all technological developments these days. So the communication was organized around 4 pillars, one focusing more on people and skills, one on business and industrial ecosystem, one on government, and one on governance. I won't present you this communication. It's already 2.5 years old, so we have achieved all the actions we had proposed. This slide is showing a summary of everything that we have done. As you can see, there are quite many things that have been achieved in the last 2 years. We created the toolbox for citizens, which is available online in all the languages of the European Union, so not just in English. This was a request from citizens to really have a place where to get information, help, support if they would like to use some virtual worlds. We have a study on the impact on well-being and health. This is a question, if we want really virtual worlds to develop and to be taken by the society, we need also to be able to answer questions that people would have about the impact this could have on them, especially on the kids. That's a question we hear a lot from citizens. So we team up with our colleagues from the Better Internet for Kids strategy to come also with a few guidelines about what to do when you want kids to use these systems. And then we funded a few projects to really develop skills in Europe, because that's a concern we hear from many people from the industry, that they don't try to find the right people with the right expertise if they want to develop something like virtual worlds. Then we have a lot of projects. We created an industrial coalition. Maybe some of you are members of it. This was a forum where we could directly interact with the stakeholders, and that really helped us defining a lot of priorities and also working on the partnership. The partnership is coming, more to that in a moment. We did a lot of work on standards as well, talking to quite many initiatives and organizations and so on. We have a study ongoing also. We really want to see how we can impact, at international level, how we can have the European voice heard in all these discussions. We created a steering group to discuss directly with the member states because we don't want, we want really all the national plans to go in the same direction. And we are also working together with the member states on the possibility to create regulatory sandboxes. So it already exists for AI, for example. That's really a place where you can test your systems and identify possible gaps in regulation that needs afterwards to be, of course, taken by the policymakers. We have 2 flagships running, one on the Cityverse and one on the human virtual twins. Quite a lot of money, many projects, a lot of work in all of these things. And we are also working with our colleagues from the Future Internet on the government structure for the future Web 4.0, and with our colleagues from the GRC on a study to observe everything that is going on. So this was in a nutshell what we have done, but maybe some more detailed, interesting things. I wanted to mention the 3 first skills projects that just started a few months ago. So these 3 projects are exclusively focusing on virtual world skills. They are going to develop masters, online classes at European level to really provide people with official set of skills needed for virtual world. So that's something quite important, and it will be complemented very soon by a big project called the Virtual World Skills Academy that will really be a place where we are going to put everything under it and really work together to create this one place where you can go and get all the information you want, all the classes you need, and so on. So this is quite a big effort, and it's becoming reality gradually. We also have, and Alexandra and Michael already mentioned it, more than 400 million euro of projects that just finished or are still running. If you are interested to know more, we have created a leaflet that you can download where you can find all the projects with the reference on how to contact them if you would like more information. That's a very interesting document because it really shows how rich the ecosystem is in Europe. It's amazing when you see all these projects next to each other, the amount of scientific value that we create in Europe, and excellent scientific value on many different topics. So that's not something everyone necessarily realizes, but this is there, and we should exploit it better. And if the topic is of interest to you, I also recommend the document that has been done by XR for Europe. They were kind enough to provide a public version of it for all of us, where they really went very deep in everything that is more or less or just a bit far away related to XR in the set of EU-funded projects. So that's a very interesting reading as well if you are interested to see what is done in Europe. We will have more projects coming if you want to get funding, and the first one is the Virtual World Testbed that is going to be funded under the Digital Euro program. So this is a call that is currently open. It will close on the 3rd of March. We just had an info day last week, so you are too late if you wanted to take part of it, but you can still have a look and see if you would be interested. So that's the first time we are calling for this. So this is a step after research. So we are moving now to deployment under the Digital Euro program, and we really want to create these sectorial test beds where you can really see how to develop something and how to test it. So we are calling for 2 test beds, one for industrial applications, one for societal applications, and we really hope that this is going to help Europe to really go a step further in the value chain. And we also have another call open on the skills side. This is for skills competitions. So the idea here is really to create a place where young Europeans can really play with the technology, create a kind of first step in a career, but also, a momentum with seeing, all these things running in real. So we have 6 competitions, and you can see that they are all on very important topics, AI, quantum, semiconductors, but also virtual worlds. And it also shows how politically this topic has become hot at EU level. So the call will close also in March. So this is the same deadline that the previous one, but on a different topic. And then we have some more projects coming under Horizon Europe. To be honest, when I accepted this invitation, I was hoping to be able to show you into details these goals, but they have not been officially approved by the member states yet. So they are not published. What you can see is a draft in the comitology register, which gives you an idea of what it will be, but this is not the final version. But what we can say safely is that there will be 4 calls. I mean, they are listed on this slide. You will have one, the first one that will probably open on the 15th of January and close sometime in, I think it's in June. Basically, we have, you know, the technologies. We have another call on the hardware, so complementing each other. A call for coordination and support action to help building the ecosystem, and a call to really focus on more architecture and internet small issues to build a Web 4.0. So that's a nice package, and it will come soon. Then, as I said, we have the study on the virtual worlds health and well-being implications that has just been published last week. So you can find the report available online. Honestly, the Commission is funding a lot of these studies. I'm not sure many people know about it, but this is a really great source of information if you are interested to see exactly what is the situation and where you can find references, literature review, and so on. And our colleague from the GRC have also just published, another study on a similar topic, but more really focusing on the methods and approaches taken by people who are studying this. So the 2 studies are complementary, and they really show that we put also a lot of effort on this topic recently and try to see how we can support it better for the future. And then I come to the much awaited partnership thing. So maybe some of you are familiar with Horizon Europe, European Partnership, maybe not. But basically, this is a tool that has been introduced, like I would say 15 years ago. And the idea is really to have a place to bring together the public actors, being the Commission, and the private actors, being all of you. And in this partnership, we are going to discuss the future of the topic, what we can do to better support it together. So not everyone can become a partnership. You have to follow quite heavy and extensive procedures to get it. There are, for the moment, 60 European partnerships on many different topics. And the Virtual Worlds one is one of the 10 new one that has been introduced in the last batch of Horizon Europe. So this is really a place where we hope we can really work together better. We are going to sign the contract, if I may say, which is called a Memorandum of Understanding this Thursday. This is signed by us and by an association representing all of you, the stakeholders. And as Michael already introduced, this is the Virtual Worlds Association, and Mathieu, following me, will talk to you about it in more details. He is the newly elected president of it. So everyone interested from your side, you need to become member of this association, and then you will get basically in the pipeline and discuss with us. We are really welcoming everyone from the industry, from the academia, the end users. We really need every kind of people represented there so that we can be sure that when we are going to design together the priorities, we take into account the needs of everyone. Together with the partnership, we are also going to use and work on a very important document which is called the Strategic Research and Innovation Agenda. You can already find a first version on it online. This is the document, this is the Bible. From now on, everything that we need to do in Europe will be in this document. And you will all be welcome to contribute to it and its future revision and so on. And on these slides, you can also find the first founding members who really put a lot of energy and effort to support the idea and to work together to make it happen. So thanks to them again. And this is the first structure of the first SRIA. I wanted to show it, even if Mathieu will go into more details in a minute, because I think it really shows that we really want to cover quite many things. You know how interdisciplinary this topic is, and this slide really shows it. So the document is organized around technologies, because we need quite a lot of technologies to make it happen. The usual one, if I may say, XR and so on, but also digital twins, also AI, becoming more and more important. And we are also covering, a set of different fields of application listed on this slide, to be sure that we really go to the specificities of each domain and what would be maybe more needed if you are in the industrial setup or if you are in the gaming sector, just to give you an example. And we also have some more general socio-economic chapters, because none of this will never happen if we don't take care of everything around, not just the research, but the ethical, legal, and societal issues, the question of standardization, of sustainability, of privacy, of security, and so on. That's basically a slide that I won't go into details here because I think it's a bit too much, but there is a lot of confusion in the community about what is what. And I know that we now have quite a lot of vehicles to discuss with you all. I mentioned a few already in my discussion. This is more like a point of reference for you to know that indeed all of this has different goals and different purpose, and you should not necessarily mix them. So we have the partnership, which is between the Virtual Worlds Association and the Commission, the Industrial Coalition, which is from the Commission, the steering group, which is the Commission and the member states. We have all the projects, all the studies. We have the European associations to whom we talk regularly, in particular the three mentioned on this slide, which used to be European projects, and with whom we have a special relationship, XR for Europe, NEM and Euro-XR. And we have some running coordination and support action, which are also European projects helping supporting the development of the ecosystems. And then we talk to quite a lot of people, different associations, different initiatives, and so on. We also talk a lot to the community, like I do today. What I would like to mention is that if you are interested in Horizon Europe new projects, there will be an info day in January, most probably 29 and 30 of January. This will be online. This is not confirmed yet, but this should be the place where you can really, get more information and get also in contact with some people interested. We are talking to quite a lot of stakeholders. We did already. We will have a last event in France in January. And then a last word about the session that we organized this afternoon. This is the first time that we go to this speed networking session model. So the idea is really for you all to have a chance to directly interact with our projects and the Virtual Worlds Association. So this is a bit in the concept of the speed dating, but this is for European projects and people. So we hope we will have a bit of fun and it will be more interactive than just having a panel. So you are very much welcome this afternoon at 3:30. The session will be led by my two colleagues, Adelina and Alexandros, who should be somewhere in the room. And there will be questions to help you discuss exactly like for speed dating. And we really hope that this is going to create a bit more of, interaction and collaboration at EU level. So thank you very much, and hopefully I see you, around. I will be for the whole day in the event, so don't hesitate to come and talk to me. Thank you.